Hey there guys, Steve here from Coils and Coins Detecting, and welcome to another video. In this video here, I thought I'd talk about the XP metal detecting pinpointers. I've had a few people ask me about how to use them and the functions they have and how to set them up and these kinds of things, and whether they're a good pinpointer or not. So I thought I'd make a video about it. I originally bought the MI4 second hand, and I've had that for a couple of years. It's been a really good pinpointer, really reliable. And just recently I was lucky enough to pick up this MI6 second hand as well, quite cheaply, so I grabbed that as a backup. The difference between the two, the MI6 will allow you to pair it to the XP metal detectors. So if you have an XP Deus or Deus 2, you'll be able to pair it to that machine. I hunt with a Minelab Equinox 800, so I won't be pairing it at this point. May get an XP at some point as well. Look like a pretty good machine, but right now I'm just using it as a standalone pinpointer. And yes, you can use either the MI4 or the MI6 as a standalone pinpointer. You don't need the XP metal detectors to use them. So what I thought I'd do is just go through some of the functionality, some of the pros and some of the cons of these pinpointers. So let's just start then with how to set them up and how to use them. Pretty basic functionality. The main power button is situated here next to the MI6 or the MI4 wording. There's a power button here. There's also an end cap. This end cap unscrews, and that's how you get to the charging area. Some people have said that the end cap is quite hard to get off, and it is pretty snug, but that's so you can retain the waterproof nature of the device, because it is waterproof down to 6 meters, I believe. It has a rubber ring here, and just I'll point out later a couple of things to watch for, but yeah, this cap can be quite hard to get off. Anyway, the first point I want to make is that there are two lots of menus with this pinpointer. There's the cold menu and the hot menu. So the cold menu is accessed while the pinpointer is off, and the second menu, the hot menu, is accessed while the pinpointer is on. So let's start with the cold menu. The cold menu, there are three menu options. So you've got the sound, which is either a pitch sound or a pulse sound. That's the first item on the cold menu. The second item on there is the LED, whether the LED is on or off. LED is underneath here. Just situated underneath near the button there on the bottom side of the pinpointer there. And the third cold menu item is vibration, whether it is on or off. Now by default I think it's on. By default the LED is on, and by default I think it's in pitch mode, I think. But anyway, you can change all of that. So to access the cold menu, all you got to do while the pinpointer is off is you hold down the power button here for about 3-4 seconds until you hear a tone. So I'm going to hold it down, holding it down. There we go. Now, it comes out of that mode quite quickly, so it's already out of that mode. If you want to make a change to the sound, so you want to change it from pitch to pulse or from pulse to pitch, if you want to turn LED on or LED off, or if you want to turn vibration on or vibration off, you have to go into that menu. I'll just turn it off again and press your button sequences quite quickly after you go into it. So at the moment, I'll just turn the pinpointer on. I'm in pitch mode. Okay, just turn it off. Let's say I want to turn that, want to change pitch to pulse. Detect the pinpointer's off. Hold the button down. One press. Okay, now it's gone out of pitch mode and now it's in pulse mode, so you can hear the difference in the sounds. The difference between the two sounds, they recommend using pitch, which is the higher pitched one, in noisy environments, so like at the beach and that kind of thing. And there's also a little bit more sensitivity, I think, in pitch mode, maybe. Maybe not, but it's up to you. But I think they're about the same, actually. But I prefer using this pulse mode, but I know a lot of other people like pitch. If I want to change LED, so at the moment LED is on, you can see that LED is steadily on, which is quite handy in dim light or if you're searching at night. If I want to turn that off, I'll just go back out and turn the pinpointer off. To go back into the cold menu, hold the power button down and 1, 2 presses. Okay, now the LED is off, but the pinpointer is actually on. So you can see there, LED is off. Saves a little bit of battery power, you might argue. And the last thing is vibration. Vibration is currently on. If I wanted to turn vibration off, hold that down while it's off. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now I've only got audio, I don't have vibration. So there are the 3 cold menu items. Now I want to turn vibration back on because I like using vibration. So 1, 2, 3. And vibration's back on. And LED, I don't tend to use that too much, but my preference is to have it on. So I'll turn it off, hold it down to get back into the cold menu. 1, 2, 2 button presses, LED's back on. And I'm still in pulse mode. Okay, so they're the 3 cold menu options. Now the hot menu is accessed via the pinpointer power button again, but you press it down while the pinpointer is actually on this time. That's why it's called the hot menu. Now in the hot menu, there are on the MI6 there are 7 menu items, and in the MI4 there is only 6 menu items. The difference is the 7th item on the MI6 is for connection syncing with the XP metal detectors. So if you're using it as a standalone, you don't have an XP metal detector, or you don't want to pair it to one, there are 6 menu options you need to worry about. Now, menu items 1, 2, and 3, they are audio with low power, medium power, and high power. So 1 is low power, 2 is medium power, 3 is high power. All of those functions have audio enabled, and they have the vibration on if you've enabled it through the cold menu. Option 4, 5, and 6, well, that's without audio, so it's vibration only if you've got vibration enabled, but the audio is off, and you've also got low, medium, and high power. So 4 is vibration only with low power, 5 is vibration only medium power, and 6 vibration only with high power and high sensitivity. So for me, if I'm hunting at night, or if I'm hunting where I don't want to make any noise, I would probably be setting it to 6, so that'll be vibration on, sensitivity high. If I'm out at the beach, or just detecting where I don't care too much about noise or about making noise, then I'll usually have option 3 enabled. So to go into the hot menu, pinpointer's on, hold the button down, power button down for about 5 seconds. You'll hear the tone, and then 1, 2, 3, for example. So, I mean, while you're in hot menu, you can keep going through those menu items. So right now, I'm in audio, and I'm in high sensitivity, and I've got vibration on as well. If I wanted to go to option 6, which is audio off, but vibration on and high sensitivity, I go into the hot menu, pinpointer's on, hold the button down for 5 seconds, wait for the tone, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait for it to return to detect mode. There we go. Not sure if you can hear the vibration, but vibration's working. No audio though, and it's on the highest sensitivity. So there are your different options. You might use the low power and medium power options when you're in highly mineralized soil. That's the recommendation anyway, because if you're in highly mineralized soil, the high power rating can be way too sensitive, and the pinpointer will just keep going off all of the time. So I'm going to go back to setting 3, which is audio and vibration and higher sensitivity. To do that, I go into the hot menu, pinpointer's on, hold the power button down, 5 seconds or so, 1, 2, 3. And we're back into setting 3, so we've got audio, we've got vibration, and we've got the highest sensitivity. So they're the 2 menus, hot menu and cold menu. One of the really nice features of the MI4 and the MI6 is the ability to detune it. And by that I mean reduce the sensitivity on the fly without having to go into the menu options. So if you're in a highly mineralized soil area and you put your pinpointer down in the hole to try and find the target, and it's just going off the whole time, all you've got to do is press the power button once while the pinpointer's on, and you're holding it against the soil, and it'll detune the pinpointer. So if I turn the pinpointer on, I've got a ring on my finger. If I come into it, pretend the ring is highly mineralized soil, I approach it with the pinpointer and it's sounding off. I don't want it to. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the target. While I'm approaching or against the soil, press the power button once and it'll detune it. So now I'm much closer. As I get closer and closer, press the button again to the point where ultimately I can detune it when I'm on the target. Obviously I won't hear the target anymore, which is not very helpful, but you can retune it again just by moving away, pressing the power button once. So this is a way to tune and detune the pinpointer while you're actively searching the hole for the target. Very, very handy if you're looking for a bigger target to try and home in on it. Also very, very useful if you're in a highly mineralized soil area. So that is a really powerful function, and I use that quite a lot. Okay, so the next function I wanted to point out was battery indication. There's no readout on the pinpointer anywhere, so you can't really see at a glance how charged the battery actually is. The first point I'll make too is that it's the battery's built into it, and it's a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, so no more 9-volt batteries. Probably the biggest benefit of this pinpointer for me is not having to keep finding batteries for it. You access the charging area by unscrewing the end cap here, which can, as I said before, can be quite tight. Take the cap off, you can see there you've got your charging socket, and you've got a screw in there. If you need to take the back off to get to the battery, to change the battery out, it's soldered in, but you can remove it. You can also replace the vibration motor, that kind of thing. Okay, so the battery's in there, no more 9-volt batteries, which is brilliant. The other thing is when you turn the pinpointer on, the LED will flash. Now, it flashes 3 times if the battery is at 100% charge, flashes twice for about 60% charge, and once for about 30% charge. So that gives you a real quick idea of where the battery state is at. So if I turn the pinpointer on, so it flashed once. So that's 30% charge, so I need to charge this up. Let's just turn this one off. I'll just try this MI4. I'll see where the battery charge is at with this one. See, it flashed 3 times there. When I started it, this one is fully charged, and I know it is because I only just charged it. So that's how you that's how you work out where the battery state is at. So that's a really good quick way to work it out. If you pair the MI6 to the XP detector, on the XP detector remote, you can see the battery status there. So, but without it, all you got to do is watch the LED. Okay, so the last thing that I want to just touch on are some of the cons. I mean, I'm a big fan of this pinpointer. I think they're fantastic, and I really, really like using it, and really would recommend it. A lot of things you can do with these, a lot of setup options you have. There are a couple of negative things, and it wouldn't be a fair review to just ignore those. The first thing, and I'm being pretty picky here, the first thing is the end cap can be hard to get off. Okay, so that's a bit annoying, can be annoying at times. And when you screw it back on, you've got to make sure that you seal that nice and tight, because otherwise it won't be as waterproof if you don't get that seal nice and flush. The next thing is the power button. To me, the power button could be a little bit more obvious and a little easier to find than it is, because when you're detecting and you want to get your pinpointer on, it can be a bit hard to find the button because there's really no obvious finger depression for it. Again, being pretty picky there. And the other thing, I mean, some people like to press the button once to turn it on and once to turn it off. Doesn't work that way with the MI6 and 4, because one single press is to detune it, as we showed you before. So to turn it off, you've actually got to hold the power button down for a couple of seconds. Some people find that annoying. I don't find it annoying. I'm used to it now, but some people might not like that initially until they get used to it. So that's something. The other thing perhaps people might find is the volume. The speaker sounds directional, so they're coming out of these holes here. There aren't any holes for the speaker on the other side, so if you've got that turned away from you, and you're in a louder environment, you might find the audio softer. You might have to turn it around this way to hear the audio more clearly, but again, I find the audio levels fine. I don't have any issues with it. I can hear it quite clearly when I'm out searching at the beach with the surf, etc. But again, that's pretty picky. But I'm finding this pinpointer very nice to use. It's quite tough. It's got some good functionality, some good setting options. You can change the sensitivity, change vibration, and all that good stuff. So hopefully you found that video useful, and you can now fine-tune it and use it exactly how you want to for your environment, for the type of soil you're searching, and for the application that you have. So if you liked the video, guys, found it useful, please leave a like, please subscribe so you know when the next video comes out, and hit that notification bell. And yeah, happy hunting, good luck out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.